Okay, so it's still Saturday the 27th of Jan, and three bigger pieces to show you. This was a tree I picked up from Sam from Lily's Bonsai. I can't remember if it was actually one of the ones that I went to purchase. I don't recall. I've removed my black background. The wind caused havoc, so apologies if you can't really see the structure. If I start at the base, fairly interesting base. I'm sure, knowing Sam, the roots will be fairly radial in nature. And when I was with him, we were talking about what the future holds for this tree. And personally, I'm just trying to raise the camera a little. Personally, I think the future probably involves dropping it down to there. There's a good group of branches, including a couple at the rear, and then quite a barren stretch up until the next group. Now, Sam talked about probably air layering it. He would air layer it there and have two separate trees. I must confess, I have no experience in air layering. So I'll just give it a quick spin. So yeah, I think what I would probably do is either chop it there, or maybe, I was going to say maybe tape it up to here, but they would be at the rear anyway. So I don't know. I like the idea of maybe some carving up to a point here. One to play around in the future. Let me get that out of the way. Ugh, right. Next up. What a mess. This is one I've already been torturing. Try and capture the top of the tree. So this was advertised on Facebook. I think the chap selling it was selling it for £20, and it was twice the height. It's a thuja. What am I gonna do with this? As you can see, I removed, so it did have five trunks, 5 initial trunks. I removed this one, covered it in cut paste, as you can see. No idea if that will be a wise move or not. We'll see in the future. But I didn't really know what I was doing. It was an impulse buy, I think April, May time. So you can see these two trunks here they were pretty much fused together. So we come up with this idea, or my friend John came up with this idea, to try and force them apart a little bit. Haven't touched it since, so I have no idea if that's worked in any way, shape or form. The more I look at it, the more uncertain I am about the front. If I zoom in here, you know, there's probably too many options for me. I don't really like the appeal of multi-trunk trees. If I could, over time, reduce the canopy down, that may look okay. But, you know, do these even back bud? I'm not so sure. I'm a little bit hopeful. We've got a little bit of growth here and a little bit of growth in a really awkward position there, so they may back bud. So what I may do, because I've not got grand hopes for this, is I may just chop it at the start of spring and then see what happens. No idea what's going on with the soil. I'll take that off now. But it has got a very, very thick trunk. I mean, very thick. Bit of a puzzle, not one I'm remotely attached to, so I'll have an experiment with it come springtime. And then lastly, another piece picked up from Sam when I visited him. Let me get a bit closer. In fact, I'm just going to start with the trunk. So there's nice movement in the trunk. You can't really see because it's so low down, but good curvature, which then makes its way up the rest of the tree. Not too sure what the future holds for it though. Am I capturing all of it there? I think this is one I'm just going to let it grow out. So the branch removed there, and then I did some shaping to this here. I think that was left protruding. And what I've done is cut that right back. So if this is the front, you can't really tell that anything was taken off there. It's quite a substantial trunk or branch. So I think I'll probably leave it, see what happens growth wise, and then maybe that will inspire me with a few ideas. Not sure.